Hello, hello. Welcome back to the gun show. Oh, that rhymed. Welcome back to the gun. Well, hello. Okay, I'm going to do that more often now. You guys are stuck with that one. All right, so we are talking IMTS today. We are talking OKUMA today. And the MTDCNC team will be on the OKUMA booth on Monday from 12:30 to 2:30, booth number 338500. And I got one of my good friends, most amazing people I know on actually on a Zoom call with us today. He's calling in, my buddy Timothy. But on my panel with me today, I have a young man, Paul Jones, who flew all the way from the UK. I got Arthur Field, flew in from Canada, and Tony Saloom, who owns a few of these amazing machines as well. So what a great panel we have to talk about this, eclectic from all over the world. Tim, all right, IMTS all the time. Today, what are we talking about? What are we going to get excited about? What's on your booth this go around? Welcome back to the Gun Show, my friends. This is the VIP edition.
Hey, we're just excited to be together with everybody again. This is the second live IMTS in a while, and we're super excited this year because we're going to have a brand spanking new booth, working with a new partner, Skyline. So we'll have a very fresh look to our booth. And we'll also be introducing the P500 control, our latest and greatest control. Long overdue, but we're excited to show it to the world.
Tim, is that the control where you and I were hanging out with your friends at Gossiker, and we literally walked off camera to show how beautiful these new machines were, and then walked back on camera to do the interview?
That's right. That's the one you were drooling all over the machine.
we had to take a rag to that thing after all my drool, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's obviously a very powerful control. You know, when you come out with new technology, you want to be able to improve on everything, but it's also got a real modern look and feel. We hope it's very friendly for the operator, very intuitive. And yeah, we covered a lot of that on that video. That was great.
You're always a good time, my friend. Educational and fun at the same time. Paul, I'm going to first start with you because you were with me in 2022, and we were on the OKUMA booth together. We did that live filming together. And Tim, if I remember correctly, you were the largest, or same square footage as the other large guys, but the largest booth in all of the halls. So what you're bringing to 2024, I'm very excited to see because you've already stood out in all the shows throughout history. So do you remember the size of that booth, Paul, and being on that live?
I do. Yeah, and I remember there being a machine that had quite a small footprint with a huge working envelope. Was it a horizontal machining center?
I believe it was. Tim, are we correct with that one? I think it was a horizontal machining center.
The promotion was around this huge working envelope that was, I don't know, was it a couple of meters by a couple of meters? I can't remember, but
yeah, so it probably was the MA800. Had the big
but you had a huge
big cylinder out in front of it.
Yeah. But more recently, I was just at the Beam show in Spain, and we spent about 2 hours on what would have been your distributor in Spain. I can't remember the name of the distributor themselves, but OKUMA, you had the Multas machine there. You were doing gear skiving, gear cutting. And that, to me, is something that is happening a lot. And I'm guessing, but I'm sure at IMTS you'll probably be showcasing that. Some of the standards that you're achieving with that operation or that, was incredible. And the speed that you're being able to cut these gears and so forth. So some of the technology that OKUMA offer is really, and I think there's something for everyone as well, which I always find, not many companies are fortunate enough. You would have earned your own fortune, but to be able to offer a solution across, 5-axis machining, vertical turning, horizontal machining centers. I'm sure Tony's going to tell us. He's got all of these probably.
You can't make the engines he makes without these types of machines.
But you look at them and if you go onto the stand, I'm sure there will be something for everyone. And then it's not just something that is, as something, it's a high precision, high quality, high performing set of machine tools. Mm-hmm. So, most recently, sort of Beam, but looking forward to IMTS as well.
Yeah, before I slide over to Tony to get a little bit of a customer testimonial, Tim, is there anything you want to add to what Paul was just saying for IMTS?
Well, very flattering what he was saying, but it's what we all strive to be, right? Is having a machine that can allow a customer to do more on a single machine. It's hard enough to find good operators, find people to run them, but being able to do all these different features and do them well, you need a really good high quality machine tool, as he was saying, but then also the control and then all the partner products that are associated to doing that as well. And so, yeah, we're privileged to have that kind of technology and have those kind of partners and distributors to be able to provide some of the best solutions to our customers.
Going back to what I saw in Spain as well was a machine that on the main spindle they were doing the gear skiving operation, but on the sub spindle they were doing a 5-axis machine part. So they were really trying to illustrate the flexibility of these machines, and yeah, it was very impressive. So,
are you flexible? Can you do?
Of course.
Yeah.
You
can do the splits.
You witness that while I'm here.
We can do the splits, right?
Yeah.
So, Tim, I actually want to play off of what you were just saying before we slide over to Tony, which I think is important as well. Is you mentioned the partners, right? You guys have the incredible organization of the Think Partners, and I think, and on top of that, we're talking technology, but the group that you've surrounded yourself with at OKUMA are, the best of the best. I mean, I walk in, I've actually held luggage at your facility, the headquarters in Charlotte, for the weekend where I had to bounce. I mean, you're the nicest people, the most educated people. I mean, Wade is amazing. You're amazing. The whole team, Annette and Kelly from marketing all through. But as we talk about the importance of people in general, Tony, you work with OKUMA every day, all the time. I've been in race cars with you, whipping around the track.
Yeah.
You like these machines. You continue to invest in them, right?
I do like their machines a lot. And the first machine that came in house was an LB 3000 lathe, and at that time, I was using other brands that so-called were intuitive, and when I changed to that, and
so-called
intuitive, and I got to use that. I learned the P300 control. And I really, really liked it. So then I had a relatively new machine, another brand. It was maybe less than a year old, and it was a super speed and extended Y travel and all that stuff. And I said, you know what? I want to bring in a mill as well. We did a test in tapping. You've seen some of the parts that we do, the drill and tap on those floor mount adapters. Now these things get about 145 holes in a set, and when we did the test from one high-speed machine to the OKUMA, we were able to cut 2 minutes out of the cycle time out of like an 8-minute cycle.
Oh wow!
So that was phenomenal, and I have to say that the P300, especially on the mill, is phenomenal. From the tool library management, like the tool management on it, I love the fact that you can detach and reattach the tools. Just a super machine, super rigid, super tough. So
how did you get that saving? How did you get such a significant saving? What was
the tap cycle is pretty amazing on it. I mean, the speed. Actually, I had Imugi come in, and the Imugi rep, I told him what I was doing. He said, "You're not tapping at 2800. You think you're tapping at 2800." I said, "No, I'm tapping at 2800." So I show him the screen. I said, "Here's what's programmed." And we basically got the tapping to run full speed, 3/4 inch deep, M8 by 1.25 pitch, 2,780 RPM we were achieving out of the program 2,800. So the machine was just super quick, accel, decel, and it just click, 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 click. It looked more like and the drilling, I was drilling at 200 inches a minute with an Imugi drill.
On the OKUMA.
And the OKUMA.
Wow.
And the OKUMA. So yeah, the machine is a fantastic machine. That's the M560V that we're talking about. And from a customer service perspective, in our region, it's Gossiger, and Gossiger have been spectacular as well to work with from start to finish. I mean, all in all, and I love everybody at OKUMA, from Mr. Jim King
Yes,
to
sir.
Wade to everybody else, to the different reps that I've dealt with. So quality machine, quality company, quality support.
I did research for my next opportunity because I wanted to write a book. And I came across this statistic that 70% of small business owners want to fund their retirement through the sale of their business, when in fact only 20% of them actually had a saleable business. And it broke my heart anticipating the fact that baby boomers, there was a light at the end of the tunnel, and in fact it was a train. And so I really wanted to do something about that. So I wrote a book called Scaling the Exit. The purpose of the book was to articulate a strategy for small to medium-sized business owners to increase the value of their business to the extent that they could actually sell it and fund their retirement. And that was really the first iteration of what became EBITDA Growth Systems and our brand promise, which is to double the valuation of small, medium-sized businesses, specifically in terms of an exit, but double their valuation, or we give them their money back.
Tim, is there anything better than having a customer testimonial right here on the podcast ready to go? Unexpectedly, Tony shows up to the show. He's like, hey guys, I have some machines. Can I sit in on this as well?
He's the man, and he hit it on the head. You can have two machines that have the exact same rapid speed, but it's the acceleration and deceleration. He mentioned that that makes a lot of the difference there, because you really never sometimes get up to that maximum speed. So yeah, he's got it together. He's doing some great things with our equipment.
Awesome. Tim, is there anything else? I'm going to slide this over to Arthur. We don't want to leave him out. He's a Canadian guy. He came all the way from Canada. That's how we say it, right? Canada.
That's perfect. Perfect, Tony. Perfect.
I got it nailed?
Yeah,
awesome.
You nailed it.
So
nailed it.
you're heading with me to the OKUMA booth at IMTS 2024.
Yeah.
What are you excited to see?
I'm excited to see the P500 control, right? As a machinist, I've worked on the LB 4000, like the super long bed, large diameter, making giant shafts. And I loved the P300 interface because it made everything fairly easy to do, all my wear comps, everything else that matters to a machinist. So I want to see what the P500 looks like in person. You know, I've seen the pictures online. I've seen some of the videos online. I want to see what that control looks like and get my hands on it for the machinist inside me that's all lit up about it. And then the other thing too, just touching on what was already said about the the 560V. I had a customer, I was working for a distributor till recently up in Canada who actually carried OKUMA, and they bought one M560V, and then 6 months later they bought another one, and then 6 months later they got another one because it was outworking every other machine that they had tried. They had other machines at the time, and now it's an OKUMA shop because the first M560V landed, and they were like, that's it. Every struggle they had with rigidity, and you're talking tap life, they do tons of tapping. Yeah. They were just like, they partnered with Mugi. They got crazy results because they could actually push the tap and do what they needed with the tap because the OKUMA machine was so rigid, so reliable, so repeatable.
You were the right person to sit in that seat. I'm glad you took that empty seat from me, Arthur. Yeah.
No problem. I love OKUMA, right?
One of my favorite features to go on the tapping, there's not many machines that will allow you to hit cycle stop when it's tapping.
Yeah.
And it'll just retract mid, like, you're like, oh no, I don't want that. And it just cycle stop and it just pulls it right out, feed hold pulls it right out of the hole, like fully out. Like, so, in some cases, once you hit go and it starts tapping.
Sure. That's what I'm used to.
Well,
there's no stopping it.
And then
it's a tap cycle, right?
It's a tap cycle, and then you hear a crunch.
Yeah. I've heard that plenty of times too.
You could save yourself on that OKUMA control. That's another excellent feature.
It's a beautiful thing. As a machinist, you're sitting there like, that tap doesn't sound quite right. Boom, OKUMA reverses it. Every other machine smashes into the material, absolutely obliterates the part. Maybe you're hitting the EDM, maybe you're buying a new piece of material, and if you're working on engine blocks, my God, you do not want to have that happen.
You mentioned the engine blocks. I want to share a quick one little detail here. Remember the engine block that you saw, Tony, at the shop?
Beautiful, absolutely.
When you were there with Sarah Tizzet, right? So that's going to be on display at the show. But that block, the first time we ran the roughing cycle, we did it in the M560V. So we took a 400-pound chunk of aluminum, 24, 14, 12. And we did the one side, flipped it, did the other side. So the first time we roughed, we thought we did well, 4 hours. And then the second time we were running those blocks, I said, you know what? We've been running that with smoothing. Let's turn off smoothing. How much time did we save from 4 hours?
I'm willing to bet you took about at least 2 hours off, maybe even 3.
We took 2 hours and 15 minutes off. Our cycle time went from 4 hours to an hour.
From
and 45
smoothing
minutes.
to roughing, absolutely.
Oh my God, you've never seen chips like we couldn't move the chips out of the machine fast enough.
One of my favorite noises as well. But do you know what aluminum is? I know you call it something different over
Aluminium.
Aluminium. Where are you putting those letters at? How's that even work?
Controversial.
The only thing I think OKUMA should have done for me was warranty the window because they moved so many chips I destroyed my glass.
Tim, can we do that for Tony? How's that warranty work?
Yeah. I'm creating a list. I need a window and I need all your shirt sizes because you're all better OKUMA spokesmen than I am.
We brought on the right people for you today, but I definitely don't want to leave you out, Tim, because the panel you have today can talk OKUMA all day long. Is there anything else you'd like to bring up as we're talking about IMTS and the success that it's brought to other people?
Hi everybody, Amy Teal, CEO and co-founder of Shop Floor Coffee, proudly a women-owned business that's supporting the manufacturing community.
Mike Franz, CIO, co-founder of Shop Floor Coffee. Thanks everybody for tuning in to check us out. Amy, tell us a little bit about Shop Floor Coffee.
So we're here to give back to the manufacturing community through purchases of coffee. So every purchase you make, we donate a portion of those proceeds back to help workforce development initiatives.
We can't tell you how much it means to us to help support the great manufacturing community. We've been involved with it for like 20 years, and we know there's issues around finding good people, finding people that really want to be involved in the industry, and we want to start by giving back to that, giving back to the programs, getting kids involved with these awesome programs. There's robotics, there's computer software, there's so many cool things involved with the industry that people just aren't aware of. We want to help raise that awareness by giving back in a little way that we can.
And really, we came up with the idea of Shop Floor Coffee because there are two complaints on a shop floor. It's the coffee and the toilet paper. We can't do anything about the toilet paper, but we can help you get better tasting coffee on your shop floor while helping the community. So shopfloorcoffee.com, come visit us and support the community.
Yeah, I do have a couple of things, and Tony mentioned, well, both of them mentioned the lathe and the mill in regards to the control. One of the things the P500 attempts to do is bring the best of both of those unique controls together, a machining center control and a lathe, so that operators can more easily move from one machine to the others. So buttons and stuff in the same place, things become intuitive. So that's part of what's coming out with the P500. The other thing, just at the show, we will have 14 machines. 9 of them will be automated. So a heavy emphasis on the automation at the show. We'll have everything from lathe automation, horizontal machine automation, vertical machining center automation. And that also opens the doors to showcase a lot of our partner products again, and some of the control technology. So will be an awful lot to see. Hopefully people will come by our booth and spend a lot of time in the booth to be able to really get familiar with this stuff that we're going to be showing there.
Well, you guys are impossible to miss. As soon as you walk into the hall, you're lit up brightly with that massive booth of yours.
Yes, sir. We'll have a big screen in the front, and we'll be featuring the P500 for sure.
I love it.
Can I ask what that machine is in the background of your picture?
So this background is actually the museum at OKUMA in Oguchi. And that is about a 1968 OKUMA double column that's over my shoulder there.
Okay.
1968. That is
Yeah,
that is really cool.
1 year younger than me. 1 year.
I'm headed over to Japan in November for Gymtoff. Think we can get together and make something happen there?
Hey, I would love to host any of you over in Japan.
Oh, I like it.
To see.
Well, guys, we are out of time.
Again, you
Tim,
guys are great.
I'm gonna leave you with a closing statement. Anything? I mean, that might have been it. So you don't have to say anything else if you don't want to. But we're out of time. We're gonna start closing this thing up. Any closing statements for OKUMA IMTS that you'd like to share?
Hey, see you at IMTS, and thank you for your support.
Oh, I love it, Tim.
Awesome.
Guys, thank you so
Take
much
care.
for being here
Thank you.
today.
Thanks for having
Tony,
me.
Arthur, Paul. Speaking of OKUMA is always a fun thing to do, isn't it?
Yep, excellent.
Really, they make our job easy. When we talk about it with excitement, it makes our job easy, doesn't it?
It's easy to talk about a great machine tool. You know they're reliable. It's so easy to talk about.
Absolutely. All right, guys, for everyone watching, we appreciate your time. If you want to see the MTDCNC team, we will be on the OKUMA booth on Monday from 12:30 to 2:30. Again, the booth number is 338500. We will see you all there, and thank you for sharing your time with us, guys. One more time, thank you all for being here. Great show.
Thank you, Tony.
See ya.
Thank you.